Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us for UNLV Arts Worldwide.
UNLV Arts Worldwide.
UNLV Arts. UNLV Arts.
UNLV Arts.
UNLV Arts Worldwide, made possible by the Stu and Harriet Lipoff Technology Fund.
This episode features a deep dive into the new partnership between the UNLV School of Music and the Las Vegas Philharmonic.
Hi, I'm Ellen Hummel, doctoral student at UNLV. I play the oboe. I'm also an intern for the Las Vegas Philharmonic. As an intern, I've learned how to coordinate, develop, and organize projects that can have a positive impact in the Las Vegas community and bring together UNLV, the Las Vegas Philharmonic, and the whole community. We work on educational projects like the Young Artist Exhibition, where students from all over Las Vegas Valley can submit a video and get positive, constructive feedback from professional musicians. We also coordinate mock auditions, promoting interaction between music students from UNLV and professional musicians from the Las Vegas Philharmonic in order to prepare music students for a successful career path.
Welcome to UNLV Arts Worldwide. My name is Nancy Uscher. I'm Dean at the College of Fine Arts at University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And I am more than thrilled to have with us today a wonderful colleague. Donato Cabrera is the music director and thought leader of the Las Vegas Philharmonic. And he also is conductor of the California Symphony, and he has done so much in his life. And I hopefully interspersed in our conversation, we'll hear about some of his extraordinary experiences as a beautiful musician and conductor and incredible colleague and catalyst for really important community relationships. And one of the subjects and topics of today will be to delve into a brand new partnership that the College of Fine Arts at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas has with the Las Vegas Philharmonic. I want to thank Jerry and Rick Crawford, great friends of Donato and myself, and wonderful community members, for having the moxie and maverick spirit to help us create this partnership, which is a little, we're in the first year of it. It's going to be a 5-year opportunity for us, and I was speaking to Donato before we started recording this session, and saying that it's an incubator for the future. We're trying things out. It's a grand experiment, and we'll during this time Donato and I will share what this is about and what the potential, what the possibilities are in growing this wonderful partnership between the university and the Philharmonic. Welcome, Donato.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for that beautiful introduction, and it really it reminded me of a few key things that we always need in our life as artists, as musicians, as leaders, as administrators, and that we need the love and the support and the vision of people like Rick and Jerry Crawford, because without their support, without their love of the art form and of what we do, it really can't happen. And it also reminds me of how one person can make such a difference, and you don't. It's not necessarily always a movement. A movement doesn't start on its own. It needs these few people to sort of start that snowball down the hill. And people like Rick and Jerry make that happen.
So true, Donato. It's so beautiful when people come together. I would say, you and I and Jerry come together and say, let's do it. Those are moments where the light shines, and the world is bright, because that's what we're here for. To let's do it. And I remember during the pandemic, which is still upon us, but the most virulent part, let's say a year ago, where we really didn't know. Not that we know so much now, but we knew even less then about what was going on. And I remember us having this conversation, and it was that lighting up the world, because we were going to have a conversation about a possibility, was so appreciated during that time. I think it gave us hope, and we still feel that way. We feel very hopeful about this partnership, and it shows that even in the worst times, and it really felt in some ways like wartime, that there is a glimmer of light, and we can go with it, and we can create something that will be of value.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. It's again, don't be afraid to share your dreams, because it's what realities. Our reality is usually a consequence of people's previous dreams becoming reality, right? And people helping out in that process. And I absolutely remember that time when we sat down and this actually came into being, which is something that you and I have talked about for a couple of years now. And I think we were talking before the taping started about how coming into the future, orchestras and universities, so many things in our lives are going to need to be rethought a little bit. There needs to be a lot more research and development, R&D, as it were, and an ability and a desire to try new things. And this partnership, in some, and I think in many ways this is really the first of its kind. This partnership exemplifies that and encourages that.
One of our goals at the university, and I think in society, is to give young people a sense of agency, that they can go out and take on the world, and that each person has something special to contribute. And by having our students be interns, have these internships at the Philharmonic, helping the leadership that you work with do all kinds of activities and projects, and see how a wonderful professional orchestra, navigates its existence, having to do with patrons and people and audience members and programming and events and probably so much more, that I'm not an intern myself there, so I'm not on the ground experiencing this, but I know we have 4 people this year who are doing a great. We have 4 students who are really enjoying the learning that they're undertaking, and the partnership also, when travel opens up, will allow a number of students each year for 5 years to go to European festivals.
And what's so interesting, I've just realized something that, so many other professions and careers have this already baked into the process. Think about a law student and what a law student does during the summer. They clerk, or they're an intern at a law firm. It's built into the education that you have the school, you go to university and you're in law school and you're learning about, you're learning the skills, but you immediately begin applying those skills in an internship in some way. Same thing with a young doctor. You go to medical school and then immediately you start you start rotations, you start learning from, you're in the world and applying what you're learning from medical school immediately. Oddly, that has never really happened with music, with training to becoming a musician and training to become an artist. It's sort of, it's always been, well, you go to the conservatory and then you win an audition, and then, it's very linear. And this, I think that this is a component of a young artist, a young musician's education that should have always been there. This hands-on experience, because so many young musicians, and by the way, we're this partnership, we're not just there to provide an avenue for someone to join an orchestra. This is just a sort of a potential path, but so many young musicians that join an orchestra, they're and you can talk to this fact as well as anyone. They really have no idea how an orchestra runs and what is expected of the musicians and what the staff is expected to do. I mean, it's really this really will help sort of shed light not only for the community in this partnership, but this will shed light on a field, the orchestra, for young aspiring musicians that has never really been there before.
And so it makes me, it makes me dream even further. What can we do even before someone starts at the university? I don't want to go too far here because we're just so happy with what we have. But to your point, it's good to look at other models sometimes and then to adapt them, to what we have and then make them special for us. So thank you for that comment.
Well, I think this idea of research and development, you don't often think, you don't put that term together with orchestras or with classical music or the world of music education. But the fields that have research and development as part of their forward momentum are those industries that are always creating new things and moving forward and leading our society forward in really positive ways. And on the one hand, music, the creation of music is research and development. Composition in and of itself is research and development, but the apparatus around composition should also have that creative spirit in it as well.
Your statement about don't be afraid to share your dreams is really, I think you're a catalyst for so much good that happens in our community. And I think that kind of a framework gives us great freedom to think, think for the future, imagine, build imagination. And not every idea will be viable or realistic, but how can you come up with the ones that are, unless you come up with the ones that aren't as well, and be okay about it, not feel badly that you thought of something that's a little kooky,
Well,
and
as both you and I are musicians, we were trained to be perfect and to play an excerpt perfectly and to not make mistakes. And really, life is about trying new things. And it's sort of, it's odd for maybe for folks that will hear this that aren't musicians to realize that we're trained to really just be perfect, and that inhibits us so often.
You are so wise, Donato. Those are very important things, I think, to discuss openly, and decide, how that gives us a foundation to do otherwise. Of course, we do want people to have excellent educations and to be ready to have expertise and to be professional, but the journey is very important, and I want to say that, you and I are on this journey together, for this partnership, and it's exciting, and we'll check in once in a while, if that's okay, to see how it's going, and it just feels, again, thrilling to be able to speak to you about it and to share with our audience that we can try new things, and they can be very important, and they can be powerful, and they can change the way we think about our profession and what is possible in the world. I think you and I do believe that.
Most certainly, and again, having Rick and Jerry Crawford along with us on this journey, alongside us, we really couldn't do this without them.
Absolutely. And having that support just builds our confidence. We all need support, and not just monetary. We need support, moral support, and people to say, as we said in the beginning of our conversation, let's do it, and I could not agree with you more. It is a very beautiful, poignant situation where you and I get to work together, and your wonderful orchestra is, helps to frame this project. The university is able to educate its students in the best possible way, all the time knowing that, stellar community members like Jerry and Rick Crawford believe that this can happen. And so, listen, I want to thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to the next time, Donella, and thank you so much for all that you're doing.
Thank you so much, Nancy. It's really such a pleasure to know you, to work with you, and to be inspired by you. Thank you.
I feel the same, and we say bye-bye for now to our great audience. Take care, everyone.
Bye.